Hey guys, and you're welcome to Check My Guns. My name is Carl, and today we will look at this crazy ultra-compact prototype of a rifle called Hrom, which means a thunder. Let's check it out.
There were many ways how engineers in the past were trying to fit powerful cartridge in a small-sized body. We have different types of bullpups and different types of cartridges made for this purpose. But what if you want to have a cartridge as the rest of the army and you don't like bullpups?
And at this point, you need to start being really creative. And that's exactly what this rifle is about. So let's start with the history. Hrom rifle was developed in the early 2000s in a prototype Brno with cooperation of CZ.
But the Hrom rifle is based on something much older. In 1970s, the Czechoslovakian army was searching for a possibility to equip officers and tank crews and other smaller units with PDW-style rifles. The VZ61, which was developed for this purpose more than 10 years earlier, was still a pistol caliber, and Czechoslovakian army was searching for a solution that would be using the same ammunition as the rest of the army. And that task was given to Mr. Jiří Čermák, the famous father of VZ58 assault rifle, and he and his team came up with an extremely compact rifle with the project name Krása, which means beauty in Czech language. It wasn't because it was so beautiful, but by merging words krátký and samopal, which means short and submachine gun. Back then, assault rifles were also called submachine gun in Czech language. There were two prototypes of Krása made in 80s with markings SA-80 and SA-81. The whole gun was using 7.62 by 39 caliber.
And now we can go back to Hrom. Hrom is direct successor of Krása. It shares the same inner mechanics, but it's chambered in a 5.56x45 caliber, and also the significant part of the gun is made out of polymer. Okay, so let's look at the gun from the outside.
So before we look at the details, let's say some technical specifications. Hrom with folded stock has 362mm, with extended stock it's 670mm. It is 68mm wide and the barrel is 185mm long. The whole gun without the magazine weighs 2.6 kilos and 3 kilos with the full magazine. The magazine has 20 round capacity. Speed of projectile at the muzzle is 660 meters per second and the rate of fire is 850 rounds per minute. If you look at the back of the stock, it's plastic and there's a spring-loaded button which holds it in place when folded. The stock can be folded by pushing down and then folded forward. In the forend we have a notch which holds the stock locked and it can be used as a front grip when firing folded. If we look at the rear sights, there are peep sights that can be switched in between 150 meter position and 250 meters with protective wings and also the weaver rail on the top. If we look at the markings, on the side we have a serial number with PV designation, which makes it prototype. If we look at the grip, it's very familiar because it's from CZ75 and it's made out of polymer, which is very fragile, so there are metal inlays to make it more stiff. On the side we have a fire selector with positions 1, 0 and N. 1 is semi-automatic, 0 is safe and N is fully automatic. When the lever is on position 0, it actually sticks out into the trigger guard, so when you put your finger there you can feel it that you're on safe. On the right side you have ejection port, which is covered by spring-loaded metal sheet, which opens only when the bolt goes in the rear position, so it ejects the shell and closes again. Cocking handle is on the left side and it is reciprocating. In the front we have a lever that operates the gas port and there are two positions marked N and 3. N is for fully automatic and I have no idea why the other position is marked 3. To release the magazine there is an AK-47 style lever underneath the trigger guard. We take the magazine out. It's made out of polymer with this metal sheet clip on the side, which is probably used to stack them together or to attach it to your vest or another equipment. There are markings 1, 3 and 5 on the side of the polymer frame, so you see how many rounds are left in the magazine. And because it's very short barrel, you need a really powerful flash hider. That's why the last section of the barrel spreads out to kill the flash. And here we have open front sights with just simple post in between the protective wings. It's easy to operate even though it's a prototype and can be a bit tricky sometimes.
Ugh. Damn. Hey. Whew. So now we can finally look how it works inside.
Before we take it apart, we can see how it operates through the ejection port. So here's the bolt carrier and bolt. It's a tilting bolt, it's not rotating, and it locks by moving the whole bolt down, and then it's hammer fired. So to take it apart, we first pull the captive pin. In the front section, we take the cover off, and then it's similar to an AK. So we have a guiding rod with recoil spring, push that forward, take it out, it's captive, and now we can pull the bolt carrier back and then lift it up with the bolt. There is a joint in the front which allows us to do that, even though it's a long stroke system with a piston being attached to the bolt carrier. And here we have the bolt assembly. So it's a tilting bolt, and here you see the movement that the bolt makes in the bolt carrier. So what makes this gun special is how it operates. In the bottom we have this fork or pliers that actually pull the cartridge out of the magazine like some of the machine guns do. And this way the construction is able to have a longer barrel because the barrel is actually above the shaft of the magazine. So it pulls the cartridge back, lifts it up, it's being held by the receiver, by the body of the gun, and then as the bolt travels forward, it locks underneath the extractor hook and it's loaded into the chamber. This is the bolt lock position with exposed firing pin. When it gets fired, it gets lifted up, unlocked, travels back, and it's ejected. Here you can see the complexity of such a small bolt. It's crazy part. And also complexity of the bolt carrier. So what happens inside, we have this weirdly shaped hammer that actually lifts up the cartridge when it's being pulled out of the magazine into this area which actually holds the cartridge. So we can look at that. You see the hole? So that's where the cartridge is being pulled out of the magazine, and let's demonstrate that. So we put a dummy round in the magazine. Let's put it inside. Let's put inside also the bolt assembly. It needs to be in an unlocked forward position. Yes. And now let's pull it forward. It should grab the round, pull it back, and then it's being lifted up by the shape of the hammer, and it's being held in this position not by the bolt assembly but by the receiver itself, and it's spring-loaded by the hammer. The hammer is pushing on it from the bottom, holding it in one place. So that's why you can play with it like this. And if we put the bolt assembly back, now you see that it's being grabbed by the bolt face and pushed into the chamber and being locked. You see, this is the locking process. If I pull it back, it gets ejected. We can continue with this assembly. The same captive pin takes out the top of the forend or the gas tube. We can pull out the selector for gas port. You see there are two different settings. It's a different shape, so different amount of gases coming in, and then we can remove the plastic forend. Now you can finally see the muzzle device that's being attached to kill the flash of such a short barrel. And this is the full disassembly that I'm gonna do, because I don't wanna go any deeper than that. Look how complex the whole system is. It's amazing. It's not a simple gun, and I wonder if it really reliably worked. Probably not, because it never saw a mass production. So now we can put it back together. We start with the plastic forend. We put there the selector for gas port. We put the top cover back on. And we can put in also the bolt assembly with the bolt. Recoil spring, it's attached, and the last thing is the cover. And that's it.
Alright guys, so that's it from today's video. I hope you like it. Thank you for watching it whole. Definitely do not subscribe, do not like, don't look at my Instagram, it's embarrassing. And I want to thank also James Reeves for a little collaboration we did on a previous video, make a little promo for this one. Thank you for that. And hopefully we will see each other next time. See you, bye!